Good evening. Pooch Van here. I'd like to talk to you tonight about tampo removals. Okay, it's one of my subscribers' cars I'm doing for him. And he wants all the tampos removed. Now, some of you guys have written back to me and said that the little expo thing doesn't work, and I don't understand why it doesn't work. Basically, you take the cap off, and then there's an ink cartridge in there that you throw away, and then the tip, you grab it with a pair of needle nose, pull the tip out, clean out the tube, and you can pack it full of this blue shop towel material. You don't need felt. The shop towel material works really good, just as a wicking agent. And you pack it, you know, it's not completely full, just, you know, maybe like half of a sheet of one of these, you know, just kind of torn into sections and just stuffed in there. And then you stick your tip back in, fill it with acetone, and then put the cap back on it. Now when you do that, you want to make sure you have it on something, because acetone will start to drip out of here and until the paper gets soaked. And then you want to take and use a blotting thing, a piece of paper or something, and just keep going and going and going until you get all the ink out of the tip, until it comes out clear acetone. This still has some paint on it from the car, but you can see there's no ink on it anymore. So you want so the tip is clean. Otherwise, you'd be putting ink on the car. Once you do that, it's real easy to refill. Go to Sally's, and don't be afraid. I know it's a beauty supply store, but just suck it up. Go in there, and you'll find all kinds of crazy stuff in there for your hobby stuff. But anyway, grab some of these bottles, because these are really cool for acetone or other chemicals. It's got the little needle nozzle on there, and it's real easy to fill these. Just fill right into the tip area there. Just fill it right there. So there you go. But anyway, I don't know why you guys, I don't know why you're having trouble with it, because this one I haven't used probably for a month, 2 months, and I pulled the top off, and it still had acetone in it, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, let's work on some, removing some tampos. Already did one side of the car. As you can see, it's got quite a bit of tampos on it, and I removed one side already. Did a really fantastic job. Cool part about using these the markers, and you can get these in various sizes, really super small tips for removing just minute little. If you don't want to remove all the tampos, if you just want to remove some of them, you can do that. Like for instance, you know, if you just wanted to leave this, if you wanted to leave this one on the fender, the Goodyear, and this one here, you could do that. When they bleed into each other, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And when there's a tampo on top of a tampo, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But when you have individual deals, you can, like if you wanted to, you could remove just the Hot Wheel logo, or just the Team Oso logo, or you could just, you know, you could remove just individual letters or whatever. So that's kind of a cool thing about using this, instead of just using a towel and just wiping the whole thing off, or a Q-tip or whatever, you lose it all. But in this particular case, we're going to remove them all anyway. So there you go. So I've just loaded this up with acetone, and let's work on this back logo here. It's a single color, and this is an older car, so the paint's, you know, quite old. Had plenty of time to dry, but it still comes off super easy. You don't have to rub too hard, because the felt tip is super soft. Once you get it all off, just kind of go back over it in one direction, and there you go. Now all you do after that is polish it. Alright, let's work on some more here. Let's try to get off all this green stuff in the quarter panel here. Make sure you have a blotting mat so that you want to blot, get all the paint off. You do that quite frequently as you're going through removing your tampos. You want to get up inside the wheel well area. You do not want to get acetone on any of the plastic, the windows, the wheels, the chassis, any of that stuff, because it will attack it and it will kill it. I have no music tonight. I apologize. Some of you guys don't like the music, so. Okay, some of these areas they're not flat surfaces. Like some of this tampo got into this taillight area here. So you want to take just the edge, and as you begin to wear the tip, it'll become like individual fibers. It's not all like congealed like a new marker. So the individual fibers will get in there, and you could work in the little crevices, nooks and crannies. There you go. Sometimes it helps if you just go over it lightly and kind of moisten it, and it softens the paint, and come back a few minutes later and then clean it off. There you go. Like that. I've noticed on some of them though, it depends on, I guess it depends on the color of the paint, of the tampo, and the type of paint on the car. That once you remove the tampo, it will leave like a ghost of the tampo that was there. But it doesn't happen on all of them, just some of them. A little bit of green left on there. We'll work that out of that. It's that little bumper corner. I may have to do a little extra trick with that. Okay, so just for grins, I've left those two tampos on that back bumper surround there. Okay, let's work on the rest of it here. All this big mess on the side. Oop, gotta get into the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll leave the ones on the fender for the time being, so you can kind of see the effect. You don't have to remove all the tampos. Because sometimes I like the tampos, they look pretty cool. And I'm going to try to leave this one here, just below the green. I'll try to leave that one there, remove everything but that one. It's right on the edge. That might be kind of tricky, but we'll see. You guys are waiting on your cars. Please be patient. This is a hobby for me, so I can't spend full time on it. You can see that or not. See, I got the green. Just above that tampo there. So I've left 1, 2, 3 tampos on so far. So let's take the rest of it off here. This here, there's some nooks and crannies right here. I guess it looks like maybe this is an IMSA car. So like the whole back of this car would come off. So there's a seam here between the quarter panel and the door. And there's a lot of paint in those nooks and crannies. So we're going to try to work that out of there. This one's got like 4 colors on it, so you got to work through each layer. But it's pretty quick. If you spend too much time on one area, you will start to remove the paint. So you kind of want to do it in 3 or 4 passes, and then let it dry, and then come back to it later if you got a really lot of work to do to it. So. Another thing too, if you work the edges real hard, you'll start removing paint, the body color off of the edges. So be very delicate around the edges, around the corners. Okay, we're gonna leave this other one on the front fender there, and we'll get that little area there where the hood meets the door. And we'll remove all that. Let's see how trick we can get. See if we can leave. Let's see if I can leave that. Can you see the itty bitty Ford there? Let's see if I can leave that little Ford. Work all around it and leave the Ford. I might not be able to do it with this pen. It's too thick. Get pretty close though. And then there's a little indentation here on the body. Little body line. It's tedious and time consuming, but you know, it is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be able to sit down and relax. Get yourself something to drink, a little maybe something to nibble on, turn on some music, just kind of just lose yourself into your hobby, you know. Times are tough, and takes a lot of stress off when you can just kind of just do some silly thing that doesn't require a whole lot of thought. Okay, and you younger collectors, you guys need to learn patience. Very important as you get older. So yeah, a little helpful tip from the Pooch Man. Now look what I did. I got a little bit of paint on that wheel, and it actually looks, yeah, my pen's dry now, so I'm going to reload my pen. So the acetone's going down into the tip, and it's soaking into that paper towel material down in there. There you go. Not a whole lot. You don't need to completely fill the thing. Like a car I'm doing now, that's it's got quite a bit of tampos on it. You might have to fill it a couple times to do the whole thing, but all right, let's keep going here. Another thing to remember too is don't set your car on the your blotting pad, because the wheels will melt into it, and yeah, ask me how I know that. I've had many cars stick to my blotting pad. See if I can lower our camera a little bit there. Okay. I love doing these little how-tos. I love learning new ways of doing stuff too, so that I can share with you guys. I'm always experimenting and playing around, and so bring you something new. I always want to have something new for you. I do a lot of cracking and stuff, and you know, there's a lot of people doing cracking and stuff. So most of my stuff is not new stuff. It's always, you know, old after the fact. But my main focus is to do how-tos and stuff. So it looks like I might be able to save that Ford on that lower panel now. Oh, Jimmy, he wants it all removed. So I'm just demonstrating, showing you how you can remove just certain parts of a tampo if you want. There you go. It just says Ford. And then let me go back and polish it, and there you go. Still got your Ford on there. You got this logo, these logos back here, logo on the fender, the Goodyear, and that logo. Okay, and you removed all this silly orange stuff. Okay, that will do a little touch up. And now we got to get in here and do this area in here, and I'll show you how to do that. We are going to need a round toothpick. A round toothpick. And we're going to need a little corner of our blotting cloth. Okay? Actually, we're going to cut an even smaller piece off there. Okay, we're going to soak it in acetone. I'm going to make it even smaller. Like that. You can lay it on your area there. Whoop. And work it in the crack, the crevice. Ever so gently. Take and dull the toothpick too, make it a little more blunt. Okay, I got quite a bit of it out. Anyway, for time's sake, we're going to move on. Anyway, there you go. Okay, now we'll work on the hood. I suppose if you had a small enough tip on your marker that you may be able to pick out that Ford Racing too. Leave that. But what I'm going to try to do here with this one is I'm going to try to leave that Team Oso across there. I guess I could have left the Ford, but I don't want to be here all night and bore you guys to death. Team Oso. And you guys know what that Team Oso means? Because I haven't a clue. Is it Team Ocelot? Ocelot? So this is going to end up being a solid black IMSA car. Solid black IMSA car. There's a little leg going up here in between the T and the E. See that? I wonder if I can get that out of there. I'm going to kind of go up in it and draw it down. There you go. Team Oso. Now this would be kind of tricky because we're right here at the glass. We don't want to get the acetone on the glass. At this point I should probably disassemble the car. I should probably disassemble the car so that I can get it around that hood area, because I'll have to touch the glass area if I don't. I'll have to touch the glass area. Let's turn it around here. Just take your time. Slow and easy. Make sure you blot plenty of blotting. Plenty of blotting. Don't need hardly any pressure at all. Let the acetone do the work. And don't spend a whole lot of time on one area. The thing good about acetone is it dries really fast, so really super fast. I forget who it was, and maybe if you're still watching my videos, you can let me know who you were, remind me, because they wanted me to make a show them how to do a limousine, limousine, a stretched, and I'm using a London taxi, Matchbox London taxi. And but I forget who you were, so if you can comment and let me know who you were. I actually have this on have it on the bench right now, and we'll do a little video on that. But I'm spending a lot of time on this because I want to show you how you can just remove the tampos that you want. You don't have to wipe the thing clean. Okay, so we're going to just leave the Team Oso on here. Because when I first started, it was just like, Q-tip and whatever, and just, you either had, it was either all or nothing, But you can actually, you can pick and choose. Yeah. Pick and choose. And afterwards you can kind of give it a little polish job. I use my t-shirt, it's just like whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna have to disassemble this. I might even do a wheel swap on her for my little buddy. What the heck, huh? Gold lace wheels kind of look funky on it anyway. Alright, so we're gonna get rid of that, lose that green stripe there. Actually looks like Team Ioso. And we're gonna get rid of the green stripe. There you go. Team Oso. Team Oso, right there. Okay, let me see. Hang on a minute. I got another one of these. I got another one. Right there. See that? Right there. Now, let's talk about errors for a minute. Look what I did. I set that right down on the mat. Fortunately, it wasn't wet. Let's talk about errors for a moment. you guys are making a big fuss out of errors. And there are some legitimate errors, but there are some errors that are easily faked. Like that. Okay, that's that car with all of its logos on it. Okay. Look at this. Can you believe? Look, it's a Hot Ones police car in a 98 package. How did that happen? Wow, that's quite an error. That's quite an error. And all you got to do is, where's my clamp? I made up a custom clamp just for doing this. I probably need to make several of them so I can do multiples. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, it's a clamp, and it clamps this bottom piece, the whole length of it, with popsicle sticks. And once the glue dries, you can't even tell that anybody was in there. And now you have this crazy error. Okay, this car was produced in 2013, but somehow it managed to end up in a 98 first edition. So this error must have traveled through some sort of time machine, right? So this ought to be worth a fortune on eBay, right? Right. And then I showed you the other one, the crazy Fast and Furious error. Look at that. The Purple Passion in a Fast and Furious package. That's amazing. And then all the error cars that you see that are missing tampos, like, okay, look. Oh my gosh. Not only is it in the package wrong, it's missing some of the tampos. Wow, that's a mysterious magical error. That ought to be worth a couple $1,000 on eBay, right? Yeah, wow. So easy to do. Don't be fooled. Come on. Okay, that's it for now, I guess. The next little segment, we'll work on my crazy limousine here. So I'm making a little shorty London taxi, and then I'm making a long London taxi. So anyway, that'll be on the next exciting episode of the Little Car Garage with your friend and mine, the Pooch Man.